With the brothers of GmsTampa, first and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Yahushai, Bahashem, Kodash, double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. And just gonna flow through spirit, man. Live lesson here, Wednesday class. Pretty much going through some history of the Roman Empire and similarities of going to this beast, which the same beast provides, going into so-called America, right on top of it, being NATO EU. That rulership here in this time now is getting ready to fall. And was going into a little video, we didn't end up finishing it, but about how the monetary system of a kingdom is tied together with the success of that kingdom. And going into what was brewing on the back end is World War III's on the table. And it's because the nation don't want to deal with so-called America no more, because ultimately they've been duped and having to deal with this witchcraft of a dollar, which is just a promise, and so-called America never came through with the promises, all right? Because what they're promising ultimately is a vain hope and dream, and that's why, again, we can get that Habakkuk 2. It talks about, them that layeth himself with thick clay, because this devil got a lot to pay for, trading out pieces of paper and getting these nice goods, cars, PlayStations, and nothing getting traded back in return, okay? Because this dollar's not backed by gold or silver.
I got a quick one before brother gets that precept. Because like brother was saying, talking about the monetary system of Esau and how he's giving it onto the other nations. This is Revelations 18 and verse 3. It says, "For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies." And that's one of the major ways that America has caused these nations to drink of that wine was through that money, man. Basically, we know that the U.S. dollar is the main monetary, currency that's being used globally. To do any type of major transactions, you have to use the U.S. dollar. Okay, if you want to buy oil, you got to use the petrodollar. Okay, not the petro yuan. You got the nations that are now starting to fade away from that, but for the most part, you still, you're still the currency is the U.S. dollar, man. All right, you have to do anything in the earth, you have to go through Esau. So that's really the main reason why these nations have gone, after the ways of America. Because to get that money, you got to do what Esau says, man.
Real quick, to back you up, that cup, Jeremiah 51 verse 7. Jeremiah 51 verse 7, it says, "Babylon hath been a golden cup in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's hand, that make all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad." So first, according to those, being drunken, it's talking about those philosophies. The devil pushing out, saying you fall out this way, this is the best way to go as far as how you conduct yourself on planet Earth, the democracy and ultimate false freedom. That's why Scripture say in Isaiah, it says, "The liberal person shall be no more called, the vile person shall be no more called liberal." And that's talking about Esau, because what they promote here in America is liberty, and justice for all, freedom, but ultimately, it's going into a way that's not good, and that's ultimately lead this world into a great destruction.
Deception. You wanted to Habakkuk 2?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. You want me to get straight to the point?
Oh, you probably lead into it. It's on the top.
All right. It's Habakkuk 2 verse 1. Well, I'll start at 3.
Okay.
Habakkuk 2. It's like 1. Habakkuk 2 and 1. It says, "I will stand upon my watch, and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved."
Yeah, because that's why in the book of Ezekiel, the Lord set up those watchmen. Okay, the watchmen on the high tower looking and seeing what's going on around the world via prophecy. As it says in 2 chapter, measured out of time diligently in itself. So we're looking out, reading current events, keeping up what's going on in the world, the earthquakes, the uproars of people, and tying it all together and being spiritual forecasters, saying what is getting ready to happen. The mandatory implication of the chip, the Archimedes chip, which is MOTB, is right on the horizon, because all these things we have to talk about because it's tied together, because this is that play the Lord's playing out, which ultimately is moving,
Verse 2, it says, Habakkuk 2 and 2, it says, "And the Lord answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it."
And that vision is, what we're prophesying unto you, okay, which now is speaking, in these last days, with relatively the next verse, right? You know, the playing upon tables is going to easily understood by those who it's meant to understand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those have ears to hear, those have eyes to see, because they have the mysteries that, you know, are ultimately profitable for salvation. Okay, they can see through the times we're in right now because they have the light going into wisdom. The wisdom of Yahweh Shai, you know, and the fear. You know, that's how they can take heed to the warning, because we know for a sure fact that we are in the last days, you know.
Verse 3, for the vision is yet for the appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie.
Mm-hmm.
Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry.
Mm-hmm. And that's the time we're right now. We're in a time of very affecting vision coming into play. Because again, this is the end of this rulership, the end of the wicked, which is just a big deal. You know, this is a big deal. What's happening on planet Earth? It's not no light things. It's not some that's gonna pass over. Like this is big time stuff that we're talking about here. We're talking about the death of an empire. Okay, we're not talking about you know, some small country being, you know, taken down. We're talking about an empire. Okay, we talk about, you know, that great and terrible beast. You know, going out and devouring and speaking great things, and you know how. John Revelator was marveled at it. You know, this is big time. You know, and the Lord's getting ready to destroy this place to show ultimately His power. You know.
Yeah, just back you up because you made a beautiful point. Like your brother said, this is a big deal to the point where the scriptures had to mention this kingdom. All right, for the scriptures for America to be as big as an empire that it is, and far as all it has done throughout the course of history when we deal with empires, it's mentioned in the scriptures. Okay, so America is in the scriptures, and the scriptures did speak about it. Okay, so that's going to be recorded, and then the end of this kingdom, all right, the beginning and the end of this kingdom is all declared here in the scriptures. So this society and this kingdom that we're living in today, it's how can I put it? It's future, or the end all be all is right here in this book. You know.
The ending.
Yeah.
You know, and the scripture says that the end of a thing is greater than the beginning of it.
Yeah.
You know.
Better is the end of the thing.
Yeah, better is the end of a thing than the beginning of it thereof. You know, roughly paraphrasing. You know, the end of this nation is going to be great, man. You know, not only for the elect, but for these other nations as well, man. Because the wicked is going to cease to rule. All right, and the scriptures tell us that when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked rule, the people mourn, which is what the time period that we're in. All right, the time period of the wicked, which is Esau, Edom. And the scriptures tell you that Esau is the end of the world. Okay, meaning the eon, the time period that we're in.
I got it. There's Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 8. Ecclesiastes 7 verse 8 says, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof.
Mm-hmm. And the end of this place is going to be a great destruction, man. You know, and like the brother brought out a little bit ago, you know, the nations are mad. You know, that's why the nations are going to be, it's going to be a bittersweet moment when this place is destroyed, because not only is their cash cow being destroyed, the main place that you know, that has made these nations rich, because if you look at nations that are coming up right now, like China, the only reason why China is in the position that they're in is because America put them there. America made them a producing nation, and we buy most of our stuff from there, man. So that's why they're mad, and it's going to be a bitter. That's why they're going to be sad, Salakia.
Yeah.
Okay, pursuant to Revelations 18. Come.
It's pretty much a bad breakup.
Mm-hmm.
You know, think about all the good times you had. You know, dealing with a woman and stuff. You know how you was going out, enjoying yourself, having a good time, feeling the pleasures. You know, of making.
But she fucked you over.
Yeah, she did you wrong. You know, what's that bittersweet?
You know, a bad relationship. You love this chick. You know, the pleasures, all the pleasures and stuff. But when it comes like the fundamentals of actually getting along with this,
Toxic.
it's toxic. So it's like you're waiting here. You're waiting on the opportunity to leave. You don't want to leave because you know, the pleasures,
right.
But you know this relationship needs to end, and that's pretty much how America is to the rest of these nations, man. A bittersweet.
Right. You start to do things to get her mad.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, man, I want her to break up with me. So,
Exactly.
So now Jake is, you know, Jake. But the nations are doing all these things to piss the whore off, man. You know, they're trying to get away from using her money, from getting into. Nah, you know what? Today I'm tired. I got a headache. I ain't trying to have sex tonight. You know, do you see slowly but surely these nations slowly going away from the dollar, man? Okay, and it's gonna come to the point to where we're gonna go to war because of this. Okay, you're gonna go to war, and the sheriff in town is gonna come to clean everything up. Okay, Yahweh Shai. You got it up.
Revelation 18:7. The point is at 9. It says, "How much she has glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she said in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no more sorrow." And that's why this is a parable. That's why we use the analogy of the woman, because that's how the scriptures use her, she, fornication. So to back up with the brother, like, hey, you say, oh, you know, we don't want to deal. I don't want to deal with her anymore sexually. Hey, well, the scriptures is using that same exact metaphor, if you will. All right. So it says, verse 8. It says, "Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord God who judgeth her." This is the point that Brother asked for. It says, "And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her." So that's that sweet. You know, the kings of the earth have committed fornication and to live, and it's like, and live deliciously with her, shall bewail her and lament for her, and then shall they see the smoke of her burning. Okay, so that's that bittersweet. You know, they live deliciously with her, but at the same time, this is a toxic relationship that America has with the rest of these nations, man. You know, yeah, they're able to benefit off of them and, you know, become rich. As they did, they waxed rich. But what Putin said, he said this is the end of an empire. They're bringing the demise of the dollar upon themselves because they're weaponizing the U.S. dollar by putting sanctions on all these other nations, man. Okay, so he said you are bringing about the demise of your empire, the demise of the dollar, because how you're using it, man. You're using it as a weapon.
Yeah, and the nations have compromised themselves by accepting it, man.
Yeah.
You know, they've how do you put it? You know, they didn't use a rubber, man. They went raw with the whore. You know, they're like, damn, fuck it, I'm gonna risk it. She's a hoe. She's been laying around with everybody, but you know what? I'm gonna risk it. And now guess what? Now she's burned y'all, man. Yeah. And y'all, the nations are mad. Now you're like, damn, this bitch burned my ass, man. This shit hurt.
Yeah. You know, you just saw the delicious lifestyle,
the gold.
Yeah, that's
you saw the
exactly.
I said a queen that ain't no widow. Yeah. You saw that royalty.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why John marveled at the actual woman when he saw her, man. Okay, he marveled. Yeah, she was bad. So that's how that was a metaphor for how these nations saw America as a beautiful woman. All right, dressed in red, scarlet colored, and what they just, as a man, you're just gonna be just, you know, head gone in the countenance and the beauty of a woman, man. Okay, and that's how these nations saw America. And then, like the brother said, but when they laid in bed with her, all right, they got burnt. Okay. You want to go back to
Yeah. Because I was real quick, you know. Oh, you got one?
Yeah, you go ahead and speak.
That was a quick point because that's why it says in Proverbs 31st chapter, it says, "What beauty is vain, favor is deceitful." You know, because that's what this devil did. Because
she is a well-favored harlot.
There you go. So that's what it is. They got tricked because they looked at her outward appearance and didn't really get into the details of really her mindset. You know, the mindset of this place was ultimately to fuck everybody over, just like the same way with an adulterous woman. You know, get all she can out of you and move on to the next nigga. You know, that's how so-called America is. That whore that sells herself through a witchcraft. You know,
right. And this is why King Solomon made this proverb here. You know, because when you're in living in Babylon the Great and living amongst, you know, the world which is influenced by Babylon the Great, that whore that rideth upon the beast, like we're going into, you know, is important to pray to not be to fall by the whims of this woman. And King Solomon broke it down just like this. This is Proverbs Chapter 7, and this is basically, if you look at if you put this man that the scripture is about to bring about, this parable, you can put the other nations in it, you know, not just yourself, you know, but you can put the nations, you know, because they fell for the tricks of this war. All right, so this is Proverbs Chapter 7, and it says verse 7, and beheld among the simple ones, I discerned among the youths a young man void of understanding. And these nations have been void of understanding. They didn't understand that who they were dealing with was the devil, man. The liar and deceiver, the slanderer. Okay? And it says, No, Satan's just one. Yeah. It's a lot, yeah. Yeah, I'll just get in the scriptures because this can't fade away. Proverbs Chapter 7 and verse 8, it says, passing through the streets near her corner, and he went the way to her house. In the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night, and behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot and subtle of heart. She is loud and stubborn, and this is America, man. All right, yeah. And not only, you know, it's talking about many things here, you know, going after these different philosophies, you know, but if you can put the Babylon, the whore here, man, because it is the harlot that rideth upon the beast.
Yeah, the distributor of philosophies and religions, exactly, or whatnot.
The mother of harlots.
The mother of harlots.
It says, in the twilight and in the evening, in the black and dark night, and behold, there met him a woman with the attire of a harlot and subtle of heart. She is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house. And Habakkuk chapter 2 is going to go into that. You know, neither keepeth at home. It says, verse 12, Proverbs 7 and 12, now is she without, now in the streets, and lieth in wait at every corner. So she caught him and kissed him, and with an impudent face said unto him, I have peace offerings with me. This day have I paid my vows. Therefore come I forth to meet thee, diligently to seek thy face, and I have found thee. I have decked my bed with coverings of tapestry, with carved works, with fine linen of Egypt. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us take our fill
all
of love.
All the things that are attractive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the smell, the attire, all those things, you know, that attract you to this place, man. New York City, New York, you know, all the entertainment. That's how, you know,
the riches,
you know, everything.
Yeah, because fine linen, to have fine linen in the ancient world, you had to have some money, or at least be of some type of royalty. You know, to be walking around in fine linen, let alone from Egypt. That's where some of the finest of linen comes from, even to this day. You go to the stores, and some of the most expensive bed sheets says what, 100% Egyptian cotton, and it'll be linen. It'll be like 600 or 1,000 count, you know, thread count. And it'll be silky smooth, man. And that's just the low shit that we get, you know, here in Babylon. You know, imagine what these elites have. You know, the linen they got. Or imagine back in the ancient days. But if you look at it, like the brother said, the dainties of this whore, man. You know, the things that she was bribing and showing these nations, like, look, you can have all these things. Just let me set up my central bank. You get your money from me, and you can have them as much as you want. And now it's coming to backbite him, man. It says, verse 18, come, let us take our fill of love until the morning. Let us solace ourselves with love. You know, and so that's what happened. These nations got in bed with the whore. It says, for the good man is not at home. He is gone a long journey. Now, you know, that's going into, you know, something different. But, you know, that's basically the point, man, that I wanted to hit. Is this is that whore. And the nations that fell for that chick. It was like a man, void of understanding, walking around, and the first good-looking chick, like the one we were just seeing, come about, and now he felt like a fool, man. And that's what the nations have fallen, and that are fallen for, and that's why the nations are now mad, because when you get played by a woman and you find out, you like, you fucking bitch. You want to do some things, man. But the nations are preparing themselves to do those things. They just haven't fully committed or fully implemented what they're trying to do behind the scenes before they can make their move away from the whore.
Yeah, that's
okay.
That Obadiah.
Come, yep. They have
men of Confederate.
Yep.
Confederate against thee. Real fast, if I can get that, because the brother made a good point. So this is Obadiah 1, verse 7. Obadiah 1 and 7. It says, all the men of thy confederacy, all right, all your allies, you know, people that you do trades with, so on and so forth. It says, have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. Right, thy bread, man. Because scriptures say they have wax rich from the abundance of her delicacies. Okay, so those that still doing trade with you, buying and selling, still being cordial with you, those are these nations are gonna turn against you. So they're gonna turn back to bite you, man. Okay, it says that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is no understanding in him. So they laid a wound under you, man. Okay.
Yeah, that wound is that decay. You know, like talk about the wormwood. Yeah. You know, it's spreading. You know what I'm saying? As it goes into this kingdom, rotting away. As you see, the glory that was known of this place over America is not the same no more. There's little sparks and fizzles here and there, but ultimately it's a dying dream. This kingdom, and eventually was gonna put it on the heart of these nations to blow this bitch up. You know. You see that something cool?
Yeah, kind of real quick. This is Proverbs 23. As speaking of a woman, but you know, Babylon the Great is compared to as a woman. So this is Proverbs 23 and verse 27. For a whore is a deep ditch, and a strange woman is a narrow pit. And when you read this in the NLT, it says a prostitute is a dangerous trap. A promiscuous woman is as dangerous as a falling into a narrow well. So that prostitute, which is going back to what we're pretty much speaking about, is Babylon the Great, the whore that sitteth upon the beast. Okay, she pretty much opened her legs up to all these other nations, man. And now that the nations are gradually coming off of that hangover, okay, and it's coming to the time where they got to get rid of this bitch, man. She's the cause of all divorces. Okay, she's the cause of the whole world pretty much being in the state that it's in. So we got to get rid of her, bro. So the whole plot is to what? Burn her with fire in the book of Revelation 17, chapter 16 verse.
Yeah, that's why I was saying that deep ditch. You know, deep ditch is hard to get out of. You know, when you dig, when you fall yourself into a deep ditch. It says a narrow pit. You know, it's hard to get out of something like that. That's why instantly these nations have shot missiles over here in so-called America, because they had was going into build themselves up to fight against this kingdom. You know, but going into that horde, it says Proverbs 29 chapter says, whoso keepeth company with a harlot, with harlots spendeth his substance. You know, so these nations keeping company with so-called America doing these deals, that's how they've ended up broke, empty pockets, because that's what a horde does. It spends all your money. You know, they want the best, they want the Gucci, they want all this stuff, because, it's expensive to keep, a high, good-looking woman, So same thing with so-called America. They lost all their substance dealing with this place. That's why they want to fight, because they want all their shit back, But yeah, they Habakkuk 2.
Habakkuk 2 verse 3 says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Right. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine.
So, like, real quick, because it said, read the verse before that.
Habakkuk 2 and 4 says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him.
Yeah, Esau's not upright, man. He's made all these deals with these nations, and he's been having a whole different agenda behind it, man. Going back to, like we were going into before we started the live video, Nixon in the early 70s, he did what? He took the dollar completely away from the silver and the gold, man. All right, and then what they to the whole earth, right. And then what was that? It became a promissory note, a Federal Reserve note, okay? So where it was just a promise of things. So like they were saying in the video, now you take those notes and you send them over to Brazil and they give you coffee. Right. You send them over to Germany, they give you a Mercedes. So these nations have been fooled, they've been duped by these promissory notes, man. And that's a wicked thing to do, man.
That unjust weights.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because that wine, just like when you drink wine, it's a good feeling. You know what I mean? It give you that good feeling. That's what that good feeling was after all these years. But now they waking up. They like, man, this shit just some bullshit ass, cheap ass 7.5, alcohol. Right. Don't nobody get this,
But he was selling it as Bel Air.
Yeah, on the top shelf.
Yeah. Right. Or was it Dom Perignon? He was selling it as Dom Perignon, and it was some barefoot shit, man.
Yeah, that's why I said the spirit. Yeah, that headache shit. Yeah, but that's why I said the spirit in him is not upright. Upright means you have a good, sense of morals. When you're upright person means you have a good, a good integrity about yourself. You stand up.
Job.
Yeah, exactly. Upright means literally like, straight up, like, you're again, great moral compass as a person, but it says in the book of Psalms, it says when he's born speaking lies, you know. So this devil that people have been dealing with, he has a persona he puts on, you know, but really behind, you know, his head is what? Is evil, war, pestilence, destruction, and ultimately because that woman, you know, her morals are always against the man. Was watching that video, you know, what's the nigga name, PJ Washington, and that woman that, you know, laid with him, and now, now that marriage is made, now what? She's in control because she birthed a child, you know. And that's what these nations are dealing with because they didn't deal with so-called America. They lay with her, you know, they had to deal with all, you know, what they're going on with now. But that's why that divorce is going to come.
Yep. And what happens when you don't play by the book? What does she do? She puts you on that child support. And what does America do? You don't play by the rule, we're gonna ruin your whole economy. We're gonna ruin your country by sanctions. Yeah. You know, we're gonna close this down. We're gonna close that down. And now you're in ruin because you didn't want to play by the game. But it was, and we've seen clear examples of that. You know, going to Libya and Gaddafi. You know, what did he want? He wanted to get away from the dollar, man. So what they do? They took his ass out, man. Okay, they ruined the whole country, and blamed him for it, and the people fell for it, and they got his ass fired. The same thing with Saddam Hussein, man. He didn't want to deal with that shit no more. So what they do? They called this man a terrorist. It had nothing to do with 9/11, but they still went up into Iraq and took his ass out, man. Why? Because he didn't want to play by the game no more. He didn't want to deal with the dollar no more. And that's what's happening. The nation's been seeing this shit happening the last few decades, man. Anybody who didn't want to play a game with the dollar no more, you got killed. Yeah. And the nations have been seeing this, man, for a long time now.
To back the brother up, and the only reason they've been seeing, the only reason why they haven't completely went cold turkey, because all the reliance that they had, that they invested into this this economy and dealing with the U.S. dollar. You know, that's stupid as hell. Why just completely cut somebody off or just say I'm not dealing with you when you ain't got all your assets, or recuperate all your assets from that place. Yeah. You know, it's like, you know, you stand, you stand with somebody and all your shit's there, and then you just, you know, you want to move all your shit out first, then, you know, give them the cold shoulder. So like the brother said, these nations have been seeing it. It's just now they're putting themselves in positions to where, as Putin and China say, we have to, the word I'm looking for, we have to remove our reliance, you know, our dependency off of the U.S. dollar. Right. You know, because we finna get ready to pull the rug from underneath them, so we have to decrease our dependency on the U.S. dollar, and that's pretty much what's been happening.
Yep. You know? And they've been doing that, and at the same time they've been building up their structure of what they're going to implement, which is all going to go to fail. But this is what this war is getting ready to be about, man. Okay?
Resources, positions of power.
Right. Yeah. Because that was the position of America has its position of power in the world. Why? Because they control the monetary system.
Yes, sir.
What do the elite say? Give me control of the money. I care not who makes the laws or whatever, you know, however that quote was. But that's what these nations are getting ready to go to war with, man, because ultimately it's leading down to this mark of the beast. But the elites here in America, they want to establish their mark of the beast, or their because the mark of the beast is nothing but the RFID microchip, okay, which is going to house all this monetary, your information, everything. That's why the scriptures say you cannot buy it or sell. But the nations, these other nations, they have their own form of it. And they want to establish that instead of what America's going to be pushing out here. So that's what's going to lead to this war, because they're like, no, we've already seen what happens when we deal with your type of money. People get killed. Countries get completely destroyed. We don't want to deal with that no more. So what has Russia and China been doing? Stocking up on gold, starting up their own digital currencies, the digital yuan, the ruble, digital ruble. Okay, ultimately what they're trying to do is build that structure, that infrastructure. That's why China's been on that 5G. That's why China and Russia are coming together, okay? And these nations are going on to them, you know.
Europe, number one, the European nations, they move into China, they invest in China to put businesses, and you know, because that's the so-called next financial capital of the world is China, man. You know.
So now the nations are preparing themselves, man. They're ready to put that cup down, but they know that they still they're gonna have a slight twitch once they put that bottle down. It's like alcoholism, you know.
You can't just affect them.
Yeah. It's still gonna affect them, but that's why they haven't fully gone away from the dollar.
Yeah, that's what you always think about Revelation 12 and 12. These are all the things that Esau takes into consideration when he's coming down with that great wrath, knowing he has a very short time. You know, going to us, waking up, first and foremost, the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai giving us the truth, and then these nations not want to deal with it no more. You know, so that's why there's that saying that says, "Thou have no fear like a woman scorned." You know, so that divorce is going to be very, very violent. That woman's going to want to destroy everybody. You know, she's going to try to kill everybody because she's distraught. You know, no one wants her no more. No one wants to be here no more. Okay, you know, and that's why she's going to be mad and come down with that great wrath going to Esau. But you get that. Oh, you got something?
Yeah. I was just gonna just back you up, and that's why he pretty much want everybody to be drunken off of that juice because that was the whole plan. He wants everybody to be destroyed with him. You know, when Yahushua returned, he don't want nobody to make it. He don't want nobody to. So now you're not. It was already in the plans. If you're going, come up against me, I'm gonna get rid of you, bro. That was already in the making. You know, but his ultimate objective is to get everybody to be with him to fight against Yahushua and Yahushua, man. You know, so that nobody can receive the blessing. But because of the elect's sake, these days are shortened. And we're waking up to this understanding of this truth, man, so that there can be a way out, man. There can be a salvation, you know.
Back in Habakkuk 2 verse 5, it says, "Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell and is as death, and cannot be satisfied."
Yep, and that's the problem. You know, that's why the condition of the earth is the way it is, because when someone is not satisfied, they're not going to stop. You know, that's why what Apostle Paul said going to Thessalonians says, "He that letteth will let till be taken out of the way." Esau literally has to be taken out of power because, you know, he's just going to keep going until he's not going no more. You know, so never being satisfied, that's the mentality of really this philosophy that's pushed around the world. You know, Jake want always, going after money, chasing after money. Love. That's why I should say love money is the root of all evil. Because you want cars, you want houses, you want the attention, the fame, the women, things like that. You never get filled with that, satisfaction, because it's all from the flesh, and the flesh can't be satisfied. But this devil always going around policing everybody, beating everybody's business. What you doing? You can't do that. People don't want to, because we keep on reading that Proverbs gonna be sent onto them. Like, how long are they gonna take this? Now they're getting bold because they're getting raised up, because the Lord gave them this technology also to fight against this woman. Those are saying they're weak, they're strong now, okay? And now, because they have a backing going into the so-called Russians with S-500, stuff like that, to defend them, being a guard, so they can, now they can be getting, back and forth so-called America, because now they have the backing, which they didn't have before,
who enlarges his desire as hell, back in Habakkuk 2 and 5, who enlarges his desire as hell and is as death.
Right, as death, He doesn't bring forth life, brings forth death. So what's Esau's solution to all this madness going around? Right now, you got you getting juiced up, His false, scamdemic, plandemic. His best thing for humanity is putting some venom juice in you, right? And eventually going to that chip. This is the deal for all humanity. Put a chip in you. This is how to fix all our financial problems, all the racism, all the, the turmoil, all the diseases. This is synthetic salvation. He's trying to set himself as a savior. But his plan is being thrown in his face because the Lord's disappointing his enterprise. It's not coming together like he wanted to in the movies, because this is not his movie. He's just a man, Go ahead.
And cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
Yep, that's that melting pot, okay? Because again, going into how that cup was passed, right? That dream was passed around the world. The American dream, come over here, so-called America, make yourselves somebody. All right, this is the land of opportunity. Come over here, you can make a good living, okay, have a family and have freedoms. You don't have to worry about what's going on around the world, being oppressed, okay, you can be what the hell you want over here, the alphabet game, you can be whatever you want to be. You don't even have to be with a God, you can be atheist, you can do what the hell you want to do. Praise Egyptian gods, well, whatever the fuck you want to do, you can go and do here in so-called America, So that's what this devil sold around the world, and people drunk it up, But people came over here and see the homeless people in these great cities. The biggest cities in the country have the highest population of homeless people. Going to San Francisco, New York City, it's this trash and shit everywhere. The street's supposed to be paved with gold, But that's why, again, that's that dream that was sold, and people are sobering up onto that false promise, because now you got cameras everywhere, you got the internet, you got the information age, this devil is being exposed. Okay, go ahead. You got something?
You still have someone?
I'm gonna just finish up on this, the point he wanted. Just read the last verse, verse 6, right?
Yeah.
It says, so shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe unto him that increases that which is not his, because the scriptures speak about a landmark, right? The Lord plotted each nation's, their lot within his earth, but Esau, Edom, he likes to go and, remove the ancient landmark. There it says, how long to him that ladeth himself with thick clay?
Yep. So how long you gonna keep building up that debt? Eventually, you're not gonna get paid. Because the Lord says he's not a false balance. Esau don't deal with just balance of weights. So who's gonna balance it out? The Lord. What's going into again, Yahushua returning and establishing that order. Paying off, of course, our debts as well because we sinning against the Lord. So this devil's in debt physically and in debt spiritually. So that's why this devastation can be so heavy because he has a lot to pay for. And the world gonna be eventually singing about his destruction when he's taken out.
Right. And that's why these heathens are mad. Too. Because they've been given these promissory notes, and then when it came time to collect, when it came time to collect, they were like, all right, well, we want our gold that we're owed for this amount of money that you gave us. They're like, oh shit, well, we don't got the gold. It's not backed by the gold no more. So what they had to resort to, they had to start giving them shitty ass lands and giving them fucking control over people, man. That's why a lot of these, like Apostle Tahar, I believe, just this past weekend at camp, he was talking about that, man. A lot of these national parks are owned by China, man. That's why they got hours. The apostle was saying, you should be able to go to a park at any time, but what? They got hours so you can go because it's owned by somebody else. It's not property of the United States. It's owned by another country because they didn't have the gold to pay these nations off, man. To give them what they were owed, but you think that's just another promise? Like, oh look, you can just hold on to this piece of land for a while till we get our money up, and then we'll pay you back. It's like collateral, man. What it's going to turn to is collateral damage with the missiles, man.
Yeah, because again, that goes into him not being upright. He don't stand on his word. All his covenants and promises he made, he never kept. Going to us, so-called Native Americans, going into all the tribes, we so-called News Latinos and Americans, be the Israelites, he didn't keep none of his promises. Okay, and the same thing, he steps on a podium and promises you this and that, and he never gets backlash for what he's never gave you. But now again, the nations are figuring out, man, we got to just get this one out of here because all she does is push out confusion and lies. But
no, this
yes, I know.
Yeah. This is Jeremiah 49 verse 10. Jeremiah 49 verse 10. All right, because this is what's happening, man. Okay, it was once a time where nobody knew who the devil of the Bible speaks of, man. Okay, there was once a time where you were just on the run, you were loose. But now we're coming into the time where the scriptures say at the end it shall speak, man. You see? In the end, the end of your destruction is speak. The end of your time is up, man. It's speaking. Everybody's coming up against you. The scriptures prophesied in the book of Job that every hand of the wicked shall come upon him, being the laborers. Okay? So we're coming into the time for you to meet your destruction, man. Everything that you have done and getting ready to do is leading you to your ultimate destination, which is being visited by Yahweh Shem Shai. And you're doing everything in your power to get everybody with you to join your lead, to be in league with you, so that everybody can die, man. So nobody can make it. So there can be no victorious person out here, man. No victory. But see, Yahweh Shem Shai has given us the ultimate clues, and you being made bare, man. This is Jeremiah 49 verse 10.
Hey, real quick, that's why the Esau calls it the United Nations. He's trying to keep everybody onto himself.
Right. Yeah, Jeremiah 49 verse 10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places. And what one of the prophecies that Yahushua said that what there is nothing that shall not be hid, that shall not be uncovered. You see, there's.
Real quick, and the Lord used the internet to do that.
That's right.
Because not only is this word being pushed out by the prophets, but anybody can go onto Google and type in U.S. debt clock, and people see a depiction of what it's not exact numbers, but it's gonna show you how in debt this nation is, man. Yeah, so everybody can be like, yo, what the fuck?
Yep. Yep. Or type in, go on internet, and if the spirit, if an ounce of the spirit is working with you to sway you to go on Google and type in who is Esau Edom? And the spirit guiding you with, damn, nah, hell no. It's a so-called and all this time. Okay, and then that further leading you on to the revealing of this devil, man. You see, this is the time that we're living in, man. You're not escaping your judgment, bro. You want to run, but now you run into, you only got like 3-4 sands in this hourglass, bro. You out of there, bro. It says, but I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. So the Lord said, only he that will let it, man, until he be taken out of the way. You have to come into your full abundance of power, man. That's why the scriptures it specifies on the smoke of your iniquity has reached the heavens, man. It has to reach the heavens, man. And that's the times that we're in. Your wickedness is reaching that peak. So now the Lord is remembering that smell, and it's an abominable smell, man. You know?
Yeah, because hey, Esau's been getting all these calls from the collectors, mainly the prophets. The prophets been out here calling, letting you know, hey, look, we got this debt to settle, how do you want to figure this out? Because, hey, it's a big debt you got here, you didn't just get this $25,000 credit card and just book on us like that, like we gonna come after this money, and Esau's just been like, I don't know who Esau is. Right. I know Esau live here and hang up on you. But the time's gonna come with the repo man's gonna come, man, and he's gonna be in the what's it called, he's gonna be looking like a Grim Reaper, because he's coming to collect your soul. Okay, my man, and slap some chains on you, because what would happen in the ancient world if you couldn't pay back your debt? You became a slave.
And that's how the Lord dealing, man. We going back to the old ways, man.
But it always been that way.
Yeah,
you just hid it. You just hid this truth. You tried to duck it off, but
nah, we bringing it out.
It said at the end it shall speak. The light. They shall consume him with the spirit of his mouth. His seed is spoiled in his brethren, and his neighbors, and he is not. And that he is not is the time that we're living in, man. We're the time where you're getting ready to be spoiled. You're getting ready to be on the menu, man. You see?
Yeah, the whole world, like we watching the news, everybody's getting jacked up, and so-called America's still glistening, and everything's still cool over here, so to say. It says him and his brother are spoiled, he is not. Because again, so-called America's that virgin daughter. They don't have to worry about third world problems. But you're gonna have to get ready to start dealing with that, right? And start with inflation and stuff like that. The shortages. No one had to ever deal with nothing like this before. No one. In so-called America. Never in history has this really happened to the scales happening right now. You cannot look in history and look back and see what's going on right now and say this happened before in so-called America. It has not. That's why it's going to the Untitled Chapter, a time like no other. That's only going to get worse from here.
Jump right to the point. Verse 14. I have heard a rumor from the Lord. In 16:11, that word there for rumor says to see Obadiah, man. Okay? And we know what Obadiah talking about, the death and destruction of you Edomites, man. Okay? It says, from the Lord, Yahweh Shai, an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come against her. That, going back to Babylon the Great, going back to that whore that sitteth upon the beast, okay? The mistress woman, right? It says, and rise up to the battle. Okay, and that's the point. These nations are rising up to the battle. Okay, and further on into Jeremiah the 50th chapter, okay, where it goes into a sound of battles in the land. Okay, everybody is nuclear capable. All right, here it is. Like when we was going into the class around the 1970s, right? When you went to pretty much do away with the dollar bill. That was the time where the truth sprung out, man. So the Lord already been on your ass since this truth sprung out to now in 2021. Okay, to now where everybody is coming up against you. Everybody. Jake is waking up to who they are. Joel, the 2nd chapter. Okay, the Lord is putting the spirit on these other nations to prophesy. Esau prophesying. Your days are numbered, America. So this is it. All right, we're coming into that time.
Yeah, and that's why this niggas hiding. You know, apostles went into those bunkers. You know, last week, you know, these niggas hiding, paying, you know, these doomsday bunkers running out of trying to hide because they know judgment's coming. They don't, you know, of course, go to the magnitude what we understand, but they understand that they're in trouble. You know, the sign of a nigga that's getting ready to lose, they start blaming people. You know, these niggas don't start pointing fingers. You know, blaming China for this, what they call it, China disease, whatever. You know, but now, you know, they blame the non-vaccinators. You know. And going on to again, ultimately, we're going to start getting blamed for destruction of so-called America. You know, just like Nero started blaming the Christians back then. You know, it's going to be all over again. And that's again, but the Lord's going to always point that finger at you. It says when you point the finger, you got what, 3 more pointing back. You know, so you getting point at that 3. 3 is a spiritual number. You know, so this niggas get a bunch of fingers.
Yo,
you know,
Job 12:16. This deceiver, the deceiver is. The Lord puts you in that predicament to be the deceiver. Just so you can be deceived, you know, you're in a trick bag, man.
This is Isaiah 14, and this is what we're doing right now, and you can speak on it, brother. Isaiah 14:4, thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how long have the oppressors against the king of Babylon, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased.
Right. Yeah, because that's why it says in the book of Jeremiah, the 50th chapter, the king of Babylon have heard the report of them, and his hands black people. You know, this report is that you're getting ready to be destroyed. You know, when you hear a judgment like that, does that make you feel good? You know, it's not gonna make you feel good. You feel horrible. You know, you feel condemned. You know, you feel like you're guilty, and that's why what is he doing now? He's trying to escape. He's trying to run. That's his last tactic is to run. He's a fugitive and a vagabond. He's trying to flee from justice. I gotta get a body, get the Flintstone feet. You know, trying to get a rocket to go out of space. You ooh and ah, and oh, Jeff Bezos went out of space. No, he's trying to leave you niggas down here when all hell breaks loose. You know, and you're just giving the money away. You know, slaving away for him. And Elon Musk, this nigga worth $300 billion now.
Yeah.
$300 billion this man's worth. You know?
He could cure world hunger by just giving $6 billion.
Niggas sell
that away.
Right. Right. And again, it goes into how, again, that golden city, man, how did he get rich this country? Jeff Bezos, you know, these guys are getting rich off so-called America, and it all goes into our slavery. How did this kingdom get into fruition? We gotta go to the basics. How did this kingdom come here? You didn't build this stuff up. We built it up. Free labor for hundreds of years. Still free labor pretty much, because what's $1 billion to our wage? We get $13, $14 an hour.
Hey, that's why he's asking that question. As the oppressor sees, the golden city sees, because this place has become so great, people are going to marvel and be like, how the hell? And that's why when you go out there and prophesy the downfall of America, people can't see this. They're like, man, I can't see this place destroyed. This is the greatest thing.
Just like the Titanic.
Yeah, but the unsinkable ship. Hey, watch that movie, man. I watched that shit days ago. That corny ass shit is hilarious, man. That shit I had you laughing as soon as you fast forward to when the shit starts to collapse, because that's when you see Esau and his true spirits, man. Them Edomites were bugging out, and they did a good job of training. I don't know how Leonardo DiCaprio didn't win the Golden Globe, you know, just I know, but hey, that's a hilarious movie, man. You start seeing Esau bugging out, shooting each other, beating each other up there.
Them niggas are playing the violin.
Bugging out, bro.
Yeah.
And then they quit, and then they go, you know, well, fuck it. Might as well keep playing. So one nigga kept playing, the other nigga's like, fuck, man, why you kept playing, man? Now I gotta go back in and leave. I ain't gonna leave my homie by himself.
That's gonna be Jake. You still trying to play that violin. The whole shit sinking, and you still trying to be like so-called American be somebody.
Yep, and your leaders are just gonna leave you to die, because just like in the movie, the captain's sitting here bugging out, looking around, and a lady come up, the lady with a baby come running up to the captain of the ship. She's like, Captain, where should we go? And he just keeps. He looks at her, doesn't say shit, turn around and go walk away, man. That's what your leaders are getting ready to do. Boom. Yep. That was another dude. He going and killed himself. He was like, because they were having a panic with letting the ships down, the little emergency ships, and he's bugging out. He's like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna control this. So he just said he shot the one dude, killed the one dude, and he just bugged out and killed himself, man. He's like, the hell with all this shit. It's like the ship is going down. I ain't gonna survive to see this shit. None of these niggas gonna live either. So he's like, and that's what you're seeing, man. You seeing people killing themselves. They're starting to realize, like that one video I sent out today, you know, about how it would all end. Fucking Edomite killed himself. His wife wanted to kill herself. She got hit with a straight bullet. But nonetheless, you got even today a lot of Edomites killing themselves. They're seeing that their 401k is no longer there because it was took. The value of the dollar is being devalued. The state of America is in shambles. You have a lot of people killing themselves, man, because they see this place going down. You know.
Yeah. Niggas hopping out of 12, 13 story, buildings and still living.
Trying to escape judgment when they should not be there.
Yeah.
Hey, matter of fact, change gears real fast. The brothers on guideline. I'll get this real fast because, with what we're speaking about, the elites leaving, right? And here it is, old worm Jacob. That's why the scriptures compare us like unto a worm, man. And it's through the spirit that the scriptures say that because I be working outside, and man, sometimes I run across like actual worms. And a worm is defenseless. Its only defense is to hide in the dirt. It can't bite. It don't got no neurotoxins. It can't sting. It's not very fast. It has nothing. The only thing it can do is hide in the dirt. That's its only line of defense, is hiding in the dirt. And the Lord compared us, called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, as a worm. Not thy worm, Jacob. I'm with thee. So with all things getting ready to come to the pipe, okay, and read the 12:1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And that's Michael, the archangel, man. Okay. It says, the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. Okay, so this is the worst case scenario that we're living in right now. A lack of food, Esau coming down with great wrath. I just watched Elder Gabar video before I came over here, and it said, Prince Charles, I believe that's his name, the brother in LA, did a lesson on it, but Elder Gabar did a response to it where he said, man, pretty much it's time to put, to go forth with this new world order to bring everybody together. And he said, some like military, we got to bring it like through the military. Like we're going to, bring the military, roughly paraphrasing, to issue this thing. So martial law. So all hell's about to break loose. Jake as a whole, we don't have money to buy spaceships to put millions or billions into the first shuttle to go out of space. We don't have money to buy bunkers. Okay? We don't have any of that. So we come to a time of trouble where the super rich elites, they're leaving, and they're leaving the poor, which is Jacob as a whole, they're leaving the poor down here to fend for themselves. So what all we have, man? The Lord. That's it. If you don't believe in the Lord, if the Lord not with you in these times, I don't care how many guns you have, because you're going to run out of bullets when these zombies and shit, because the military preparing for that. A zombie apocalypse. Where you think they're going to find all the zombies at, man? All you people that's getting a Vicky. Okay? So we're coming to a time where you're going to need the Lord, man. You're going to need the Lord. Because we're coming to a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation. It says, was a nation even to that same time, and at that time thy people shall be delivered.
Right, and real quick, that's why the Lord said, lay ye up treasures in heaven where moth and rust doth not corrupt, man. Because the things of this world is getting ready to be destroyed, man. The systems, the governing bodies is all coming to an end, man. And nothing of this world is going to save you. Nothing. It don't matter how many, you can have a whole house underneath your house, full of them with food. You're going to die.
The missiles.
Yeah.
Those that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy.
Exactly. Yep.
So, only way is through the Lord, man. It says, at that time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time, and at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. So that's why we're given due diligence. That's why we're on the live right now. Because you look at all these brothers, man, here with me right now, okay? This is what we're making our strength, man. Yahweh Shem Yahushai. When I look at these brothers, I see hope, man. You know, but that's all we got. Hope in Yahweh, bro. We ain't putting our, we don't have the power. What King David said, he said, deliver me from my enemy, which is too strong for me. Esau Edom is too strong for us, man. Let us get carnal and say, okay, we finna go against this devil, and we're done, bro. We are finished.
Yeah. Hey, you don't even, so like real quick, you don't even have to physically try to come up against this devil. Let yourself try to so-called become sovereign. You're gonna be through, man. You ain't gonna. Oh, I'm sovereign, so you don't need a driver's license. I'm not gonna use the U.S. dollar. Who you gonna starve to death? Because you ain't gonna. Esau ain't gonna allow you to get your own land because you're not a sovereign. You're not a citizen of the United States.
And you $86,000 in debt.
Exactly. So you owe money. So you ain't going sovereign, man. You any which way you try to come up against Esau to try to combat him, bro, you will lose.
Yep.
Except if you come in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
Real quick, and I just want to say, and if you do find a loophole, Esau just gonna change the rules on you.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why he's coming with the MOB.
Yeah.
The MOTB. Okay, the mark of the beast, because you having too many niggas trying to change the game up.
Exactly.
Going to the cryptos, trying to invest in Bitcoin. All that shit gonna come crumbling down, man.
Exactly. You know, so it's a good point, man. You know, so we here pleading with you people at the same time trying to receive mercy by giving up these sacrifices, man. It's gonna come a time where you ain't gonna be able to sit here and watch these lessons no more, man. You're gonna come a time where you're gonna log in on Wednesday. Oh yeah, let me see if the brothers, I know they go live every Wednesday. Let me log in and say Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, B'Shem Kakadash Barakatah, you know, to the brothers, you know. It's gonna come a time where that's gonna be it, where you gonna find us. You ain't gonna see us. Shit, we might not even see each other. Alright, that's why we building up our faith now in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So when things do get bad, things do get rusty, man. Hey, our faith has been built up, and we gave our due diligence, okay, to be found worthy in these last times, and we hoping for mercy. Because as we tell you the judgments of these things, ourselves, we're not exempt. We're still hoping for mercy to be showed unto us, man. All right, I gotta.
Yeah, we can close out.
Kind of. Psalms. Somebody can speak on it. Let me speak on it. Psalms 124:1. If it had not been for the Lord who was on our side, now may Israel say. If it had not been for the Lord who was on our side when men rose up against us.
Yeah, and that's coming. Isaiah 59:19. Esau Edom is getting ready to come down with a great flood, bro. That's why we're preparing that spiritual ark. That's why we're building. That's why we're doing the lessons. Because we can actually feel the flood coming, bro.
We can see it.
We can see it. It's already, you know, we're not losing that vision. We can see it clear as day that this flood is getting ready to come, bro. Elder Amawan Gabar from the New York camp just did a lesson. Something great coming. Elder Pastor Gabar just did a lesson. The time of trouble with it, bro. It's coming, bro. We can feel it. So that's on the flip side, on the right hand side, we know that the Lord is just that much closer to the ark being fully built, man, and getting ready to sail over this flood that's coming, man, because the Lord is on our side. You got it.
Yep. If it had not been for the Lord who was on our side, when men rose up against us, then they had swallowed us up quick.
Yeah, and that if the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai didn't have mercy on us, but we would be swallowed up in this flood, man. You know, if the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai wasn't on us to be gravitating towards Him, to be leaders, to be men in these last days, bro, Israel will be done. But for the elect's sake, the Lord, the elect remnant, man, that was going to have the faith, have the belief in Him, because that's all the Lord wants. We're going to be delivered, once again, by our faith and by our works. So the Lord ain't requiring you to go out and get straps, go get arms. Nah, He required the faith and works, man. That's it. Go ahead.
Then they had swallowed us up quick when their wrath was kindled against us.
Yeah, because the wrath, what? He's coming down with great wrath. Because once going back to the icing on the cake of us doing this lesson, everybody's not getting ready to be down with the beast. Even his allies getting ready to turn on him, man. On her. Right? So the laborers coming up against him. Yahweh Shai coming back. The men of the Lord getting powers.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can go into the history. Remember Antiochus Epiphanes, you know, when he went out and the Romans embarrassed him pretty much, what did he come back and do? He started fucking up Jake. You know, kicking the cat. So, you know, Esau gonna kick the cat on Jake, you know, giving Jake help. That's why it's called Jacob's trouble.
Jake is over here in
Exactly.
Babylon the Great.
Yeah.
And it's going to come in the form of the hour of temptation,
Yeah,
which is going to come to the whole earth.
Trying to find the temple.
All right, y'all niggas want to fuck around? Y'all want to play games? All right, look, you're going to have to get this. If not, you should.
You're gonna die.
Yeah.
This is your only way you're gonna eat.
You out there.
Siege. 70 AD again.
Yep. You wanted to do things by your way? All right, we're going to give you the choice.
Yeah.
Either you take this or you go deal with yourself out there in them woods. You know, don't come around this city. Matter of fact, we're going to put you to death if you don't get it. How about that? Or like they're doing right now. They're showing you what they're gonna do, man.
Fucking metaverse shit.
Yeah, that they're shaming the people. Look what they're doing with Kyrie, man.
Oh, that's him.
They completely slandering these people. And what do you think they're gonna do? Eventually, gonna lead to? Oh, he a terrorist.
Yeah.
And they gonna come after you, man. Now you label terrorist, you through.
Mm-hmm.
Look what they did with Saddam Hussein, man. They completely convinced the minds of the people in his country, their ruler, who was looking out for the best of them, to hang his ass, man. And they hung him. I saw the video when I was little. I seen it. And what do you think they're going to do to you people out here who ain't with the program? They're going to label you a terrorist, and they're going to convince everybody else around you that you a problem, and people are going to come after you, man. And who are the main people they really coming after? Is the men of the Lord, man. Those that believe on the faith. And 2 Ezra 16 and 74 tells you that, man. Okay, great insurrection against those that fear the Lord. Because they're going to come after us. Because why? Because we ain't with this shit. And we ain't going to be with it. Some of us are going to have to be witnesses. Others of us, we ain't going to have to touch. Death ain't going to touch us, man.
And that's really majority of us, you know, because the scriptures speak about greater deliverance. People getting ready to witness power from Yahweh Shem Shai, bro, because the scriptures say long time after he holding himself, man. You know? Yeah, so the Lord is getting ready to show that mercy, bro. You know? And whoever doubted or lacked faith or didn't believe, that's going to be shown in that day. When the man of the Lord is the Lord is on their side. You know? You got a lot.
Finishing off, it says, I'll read 2 again. It says, if it had not been for the Lord who was on our side when men rose up against us, then they had swallowed us up quick. When their wrath was kindled against us, verse 4, then the waters had overwhelmed us.
Going back to that flood. Go ahead.
The stream had gone over our soul.
Yeah, as in the days of Noah. You know, that's that comparison. You know, go ahead.
Verse 5, then the proud waters had gone over our soul.
Yeah, that's how you know it's talking about Esau. The proud waters, man. What? Going over our souls being what? Ultimately consuming. The scriptures say what? Break their teeth. Mm-hmm. So we need for their teeth, we need for their strength to be broken. And who's going to be able to do that? Like you said earlier, while we bring up the scripture, you have to have the faith in Yahweh Shem Shai, bro. There is no other way. Kemet can't get us out of this, bro. You know, never did. We need Yahweh Shem Shai to stand for us in these days. And the Lord is going to leave the remnants in that fiery furnace so that they can be purified, bro. We're going through what the 3 holy children went through. We're going through what the men of the Lord went through, bro. That's why we're building up our faith by going through the generations of old. Seeing whoever put their trust in the Lord was not confounded, man. So that when we're put in that fiery furnace in the hour of temptation, we're going to be delivered. Why? Because we kept that word. We kept the patience. We kept the faith of Yahweh Shem Shai, man. We did what our forefathers done. If they was here, if Daniel was here, we're doing what Daniel would have done in Lion's Den, man. Holding his integrity, man. You know, that's what this thing is boiling down to. This flood is coming, bro. We don't have no life suit, bro. There is, bro. We have the faith and the belief in Yahweh Shem Shai. That's our armor. That's how we gonna go over this flood.
That's our life vest.
That's it. That's our life vest. The water. That's it. And the safeguard is Yahweh Shai, who's overseeing everything, man. Who's already told us the great shark is coming through, man. You know?
Yahweh Shai being that whistle, man. You know, we whistling. So that we may be delivered, man. Like in
Right.
the movie Titanic, you know. What happened? What helped that lady at the end of the movie to survive the waters? Well, she got to that whistle, man. She got to that whistle and she started what? Blowing up on it, man. And what are we doing? We blowing the trumpet. Okay.
Verse 6, blessed be the Lord who hath not given us as prey to their teeth.
Yeah, blessings, PT. Bless,
Barak
you know, who have not given us as a prey unto their teeth, going back into the military, man. Because he's 70 AD HD. Like the brother, one of our favorite precepts, Daniel 12, man. Bro, that time is coming, bro. That time is coming where it's never been done before. The only record we have is our imagination and going into the history, finding up YouTube videos and comparing it to what's actually getting ready to come. But that's not even comparable to it, man. Okay? So we have to have the faith in Yahweh Shai. That's what it's boiling down to. Who has the faith and who do not have the faith, bro? That's who's going to make it, man. You got something? Okay, sure.
Blessed be the Lord who hath not given us as a prey to their teeth. Our soul is escaped as a bird out of the snare of the fowlers.
Yeah. Hey, hear, O ye my beloved. So that's that spirit. That's Yahweh Shai speaking to the elect souls, man. The days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you, bro. Don't worry about nothing, bro. Put on the elect, man. Do it. I gave you an example. Okay? And I'm giving you, man, as an example. It was an apostle great millstone on how to conduct yourself in the faith. Don't worry about nothing, bro. Don't worry about nothing. The greater deliverance is going to come. Don't worry about how you're going to get out of it. Just believe you're going to get out of it, man. That's the spirit that the Lord is putting on the elect. Don't worry how you're going to get out of it. Believe you're going to get out of it, man. You got it.
Our soul is escaped as a bird out of the snare of the fowlers. The snare is broken, and we are escaped.
Woo! So that's that what? That snare ultimately come upon the whole world. Everybody getting chipped, broken. Because the elect is going to escape. Yeah, we're going to be afraid.
Gallows, man.
Yeah. But it's going to come upon him.
Hey, and that money, man, that money has been a snare for Jake for since you were born, man. You know? That they even have webs on the dollars, man. On the back of the dollar bill got webs on it. That shit's been one of the biggest snares to catch Jake because they've gone out of their wits for that money, man, for that whore. You know, scriptures say many have gone out of their wits for women. Well, they've been chasing that money, man. Trying to do everything they can to obtain that money, man, and they've gone astray, man. You know? And the Lord is getting ready to deliver us from that shit, man. That's one of the biggest burdens on Jake, man, is money. Because you become a slave, you have become a slave to it, man. You wake up every morning at a set time so you can go to work to make money. So that you can throw it right back to Esau to put in a bag full of holes, man. You know? And not only that, man, but you got our people that to do wickedness for money, man. Sell their souls. Okay? You know, and what's that?
Oh no, go ahead.
You know, and we're getting ready to come into a time of great salvation, man. A great deliverance from many things, man. Not just from being up underneath a damn white pale-faced devil, man, but from being slaves, from having to deal with fucking, do I have enough money to pay for this? Do I have enough money to pay for that, man? We coming up, we getting delivered from many things, man. Not just being under this damn white man. That's not the only thing the Lord is delivering us from, man. He's delivering us from this flesh, from ourselves. You know?
One last verse. Psalms 124:8. Our help is in the name of the Lord, who made heaven and earth.
That's where our help lies in, man. It's the names of Yahweh Shai. And these nations, guess what? They don't have it. They don't got the name. 2/3 of Israel don't got the name. So it goes to tell you that not many people are coming to be delivered in these last days, man. You know, because only those who have the help is going to get by. You know? So, hey, so, you know, with that, we want to give all praises and glory unto Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
Double honor to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone, and much blessing and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth who are diligently pushing on this truth, in this truth and sincerity. With that I say, Shalom.
Shalom.